Get off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Streaker, Spreaker, and more. Why so many places? Well, these days, everywhere, if you're tuning into the mainstream, you're going to get into a very angry stream, 4 A's. Anxious, angry, aggravated, and afraid. And I don't want you swimming in that stream. I want you to come over and love stream to a show about hope and happiness. And, I'm on that happy 88 mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. Therefore, I don't want to talk about the headlines. Sorry, if you're expecting headlines here, you're going to be disappointed. There's so many other places to tune in. In fact, every other place. This is the only place that I know of. You're not going to hear one word about what's going on because it's all negative. And, but Dr. Marissa, you want to stick your head in the sand? Mm-hmm. I do. You know why? Because there are lots of things going on around that are headlines, that are inspiring, and you learn something, and it's not something that you can't control or you're going to listen to and go, oh, what is the world going to hell in a handbasket? Or what's wrong with people? Or, oh no, that's horrible, which are definitely the three things that I hear and have experienced every time I tune into the news. Trust me, if it's something that I can do about, someone will tell me. This is happening and this is what you can do, because that is the only kind of news I want to listen to, things that I have control over. Anything else, it's a waste of my time, and time is my most valuable resource. It's non-renewable, and that's why I do what I do. And thanks for joining me today. I haven't had a chance to go check to see if we've upped on our impression level. Last time I looked, we were at 4.2 million impressions on this YouTube TV channel. And let's see, socials are doing really well. And I can't believe I'm up to like 44,000 monthly views on my Doc Balance and Instagram, and hundreds of thousands everywhere else. So that just tells me that good news is trending, and I'm so glad that you're a part of it. Thank you for the support. You can always get me live here on camera every morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time, because that's where I broadcast live. And you can always chat with me. Please don't do so if you're listening on the AM FM side, where there is a ability to listen, but you don't want to chat while you're driving. Please don't. Let's see. And we start every show with the same exercise called having breakfast with me. And that is made up of taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich, top of the bun, things that you're grateful for outside of yourself. So look around. What do you like that you're looking at? And then bottom of the bun, what do you like about yourself? I want you to look inside and do the weightlifting required to give yourself a foundation to good mental health, self-care, self-love, self-soothing. That's my BS, my belief system for good mental health. And since it is Monday, we will be talking about something that does affect your mental health, as well as a number of other topics that do have to do with that. But I want to get ahead of myself. Let's go for breakfast. What are you grateful for? I am grateful that the sun is shining. We had a beautiful, necessary winter storm rain. I think it started Thursday, I want to say, maybe even Wednesday, but it was a long haul. I got to drive in the rain for long periods of time, every single day. Warner Brothers Studios, Beverly Hills, Chinatown. I did a lot of driving, and I probably have never driven so safe in my life. I'm grateful that I did not hydroplane, which is what happened a few years ago, scared me. Could have one time. I'm grateful for the road works, public works, that keeps most things safe for us as we're traveling in the rain. I'm grateful that I have the sun. I'm solar powered, so the sun's always shining somewhere, but I'm glad that it's shining here, California beachside. I am also grateful for the amazing events that I got to go to, watching my fabulous co-host Ricky Rebel perform and receive an award at Warner Brothers Studios with the Hall of Fame American Music, and I'm putting that clip together later on today, so you'll get to see that. And then let's see. I'm grateful for 39 years. My home where I get my positive roots watered and my peace of mind fertilized. Agape International Spiritual Center celebrating 39 years. I got back on the choir saddle and got to be front row doing my little dance moves with the choir, and that was super fun. We had a guest come in, Tim McAfee Lewis, who I used in the OG when I was in the choir for 12 years. He was assistant choir director at one time, and he's quite the colorful, fabulous musical sensation. And it was really fun performing Stepping in the Water with him. So if you missed all of that, I also will be putting a clip together for that. But you can go to Agape Live TV, or you can go on my Facebook where I streamed it live, or you can go to agapelive.com. And it's our 39th anniversary. My big brother, Michael Bernard Beckwith, who you hear about all the time because he's really a big brother to me. He saw in me what I couldn't see for myself. And so I'll be putting up a little soundbite from him as well. So that's it for the gratitudes on the top of the bun. The bottom of the bun is, what do I like about myself? And I want you to do this tonight. I'm not going to come and check up on you, but before you to go to bed, it is a good life habit to fall asleep not thinking about all the things that you didn't get done. If you're a perfectionist like me, what you could have done better, or who criticized you, or that MSU University making shiitake up in your head. All of that can keep you from a good night's sleep, and I don't want that. I want a good night's sleep. I want you to have a good night's sleep. So this is why we do this. The weight training is, what do you like about yourself? And if you cannot find something that you like about yourself, I would challenge you to think about a compliment that you've gotten. We have a tendency as perfectionists to focus on the one insult when you've had 99 compliments. So don't tell me you've never gotten a compliment. I don't know one person on the planet, even the difficult ones, who have not gotten one compliment. And that's what I want you to focus on. So what's that one compliment for me yesterday? Oh, I had so many compliments. I'm so grateful that, one, I get a lot of compliments, and two, I know how to receive them better than before. So maybe that's my compliment. I receive compliments better than I did in the past, when I was just beating up on myself constantly. But now I've learned how to make my inner critic my best friend instead of my worst enemy. That's another thing I appreciate about myself. I appreciate that I do have a fashionista sense of style. I do appreciate that I am a good dancer, and I appreciate that I love finding the fun in life. Laughter is my favorite sound on the planet. That is why I love to make people laugh. I stuck my head in the freezer to cool myself off yesterday. There's a clip on that, but I just love the sound of laughter. So I appreciate that about myself. So, whatever yours is, please do remember to do this before you go to bed tonight. And if you want a little more practice, join me every weekday morning here on my YouTube TV channel, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And then this will go a week later to 8 a.m. I'm back to my drive time morning slot at KCAA NBC News Radio channel, the station that leaves no listener behind, AM 1050. FM 106.5 and streaming everywhere. So there you have it. That was breakfast. Thanks for joining me for breakfast. And I promise if you do this for 21 or 28 or 30 consecutive days, whatever you think makes a good habit, it will sandwich your day in the most positive way. And now, for the topic of the day. It is Monday. And what do we do on Mondays? We talk about mental health mattering to ourselves. I want you to know how loving, lovable, and loved you are, and wrapped in a warm blanket of worthiness. And that will only happen when you actually believe your own BS, your own belief systems that you are not a piece of shiitake. And I know a lot of people, including myself, that's the baseline. You wake up, you have a moment of coming to and coming into life, and you have that fraction of a second to have your balance-centered self come in and say, it's a beautiful morning. And if you don't have the practice of living in that balance-centered of yourself, then the critic can come in and begin taking over, driving your life car over a cliff with the chatter of, you're really not all that. You got compliments, but you should hear what people really say about you behind your back. Or you you hide it well, or they don't know that you did this or that. And all of those accusations, either at yourself or others, well, they have no room to criticize because they are hypocrites. So, la, 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 la. And it's not a fun way to live your day. So let's hit the first one right off the bat. Hypocrisy. I don't think I've ever talked about hypocrisy on this show. It's a funny word, actually. Hypocrisy. It's almost musical or lyrical, but let's go to my assistant Google and look up hypocrisy. Okay, we're going to look for the definition of hypocrisy so we are all on the same page. Here we go. And it is the practice of claiming to have certain beliefs, values, or feelings that one does not actually have, or behaving in a way that contradicts one's stated beliefs. You can read that? I do love being one with my coffee. All right. The practice of claiming to have certain beliefs, values, or feelings that one does not actually have, for behaving in a way that contradicts one's stated beliefs. Okay. So I can say without a doubt that I have been a hypocrite for sure. More than once, I have been a hypocrite. So I can admit to that. I don't think anybody I know has ever not been a hypocrite. If you think you've never been a hypocrite, please put your name in the chat. Not to shame you, but I would actually really would like to hear how you were able to not be a hypocrite, because I don't know anybody who has not said and espoused one thing and acted in a different way. So I'll admit it. I went okay, especially when I thought I was perfect. So there was a time not that long ago, I would say like maybe 8 years ago, when I truly thought that if I just worked a little harder, if I just did a little more, I could be perfect. And it was a miserable life. Perfectionism is a dis-ease with life. You are never going to be happy, I promise you, because you're always going to say, I'll be happy when, and you never get to when. So, those in our society who think that, working 80 hours a week, trying to be perfect, trying to get that, all the everything buttoned up and all your ducks in a row, come work with me, because I promise you, you're not very happy. It is a highly inversely correlated with happiness. Perfectionism is. So, and one of the things that perfectionists level at other people is the accusation of you're a hypocrite. And the imposter syndrome is also 100% hypocrisy, because you are pretending to be something you're not, or you think you're pretending to be something that you're not. So let's talk about the common. I like to do this at the beginning of the show, and keeping it real. When the most common situations that are uh, um, affiliated with hypocrisy, I would say the one that I hear about the most is religion. Okay. I know we don't talk about religion. We don't talk about politics. I'm just using this as an example. Okay. I'm not gonna say which religion. I'm not gonna, preach or pray or anything like that. I am just gonna say that the one uh accusation for hypocrisy that I hear the most is uh people say they are Christian and they don't act in the Christian way. So you say you're a Christian, but then you murder, steal, all you break the commandments. That's the easiest way to say it. Okay. Your faith says that you shouldn't be doing this and you go do it anyways. All right. So that's very easily understood hypocrisy. That's directed outwards. The directed inwards is the one I gave you. Imposter syndrome is you acting in a way people think you are that way, and inside you don't believe, or you are conflicted because you really don't feel like what you're pretending to be. Okay. So that is the real of hypocrisy. Um, and it can definitely lead to one, a constant source of blaming, looking outside. You're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. Negative Asian Oprah, right? Instead of you get a car, you get a car. You're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite, and therefore I don't have to listen to you. Therefore, people are horrible. Therefore, everybody lies. Therefore, worst case scenario, everyone's an idiot. And you know the world is going to hell in a handbasket. Not a great way to live. Always looking outside, blaming someone else. And then, worst case scenario, looking inside and blaming yourself for being the imposter or the hypocrite. Neither is a very good place to come from. Neither is a very good place to be. So, what do we do about that? And usually I don't talk about solution until the second half of the show, but I have a couple of people I pre-interviewed them, or I've interviewed them, and I want to bring them on for Money Matters, because it will help you as well with your mental health. So I'm going to go straight to solution. So how do we deal with the hypocrites that are outside of ourselves. So if you are not liking the state of all the hypocrisy that is shown on TV with politicians, with religious leaders, with people who should know better, with your friends, with your family. Oh, they're a hypocrite. And it's driving you crazy and you don't like looking at it. Quit looking at it. Oh, but Dr. Marissa, I can't not look at it. It needs to be changed. They're not good. They're hurting people that I love. They're hurting me. How can I not look at people who are hypocrites? They're evil. They should not be allowed to do what they're doing. We need TMZ all over the place to uncover all the bad things they're doing. No. The buck stops right over here. If you don't like what you are looking at, quit looking at it. Hello. As my big brother would say, are you picking up what I'm throwing down here? Because I'm throwing it down. I am putting the moose on the table, which is my Canadian version of talking about the elephant in the room. You cannot continue to live your life looking outside of yourself and only picking up what is the worst in people, the worst in what's shown in media, the worst that's shown on news, because it's always there and you will always have someone to blame and you'll always have an excuse to be pissed off or in your piss offedness. You'll always have a reason to be angry. You'll always have a reason to be aggravated. You'll always have a reason to be anxious. You'll always have a reason to be afraid because that's what's out here. So quit looking out there. If you start the day MS meaningless scrolling, you're going to find hypocrites. I guarantee you. Because everybody's a hypocrite to some level. So, in order to keep yourself from looking at it and getting angry, afraid, anxious, or aggravated, quit looking at it. Plug your phone in somewhere else. Don't do anything on your social media until you've finished your core responsibilities of things that you know you should do to make yourself feel like you've accomplished something yourself, because it's also a time stealer. I don't know, but I took the news app off because as soon as the headline popped up, I'd go, scroll, and then click, and then that would lead to click, and that would lead to click. And then all of a sudden, oh my God, I'm late. Or an hour has gone by and I didn't finish what I was supposed to do. That's on you, boo. Nobody is putting a gun to your head and saying, you have to go see what's going on. No, you don't. Because what's going on is one producer's choice to bring stories to you to keep you there. And nothing keeps you focused on something than things that raise your angst. There's another A. Angst equals afraid, angry, aggravated, and annoyed. So if you want to get rid of the hypocrites in your life, you don't kill them, you just tune them out. That's it. Easy. Not easy. Simple, but not easy. Takes practice. You have to practice your ability to put your phone down. You have to practice your ability to quit commenting. You have to practice your ability to quit giving advice where it wasn't asked. You have to keep your ability to not text back when you're pissed and not send an email when you're pissed. The best tool I have is save draft. When I'm not in a good place and I write something, I know I give myself 24 hours before sending it, because every single time I send before the 24-hour pause, I regret it. And then I have to apologize, and I hate apologizing. So if someone is a hypocrite in your life, let them be a hypocrite. You can't change it. They're not interested in changing it. They have the right to be however they want, but you don't have to look at them. Okay? All right. So that is hypocrisy on the outside. Let's look at hypocrisy on the inside. So if you know that you're feeling a little imposter syndrome because, oh, I'll take the best example I know is me. I just cracked myself up. All right, let me be one with my coffee for a second. All right. My brand is Hope and Happiness. My best-selling book is 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are. By the way, this morning, there we go. You actually get a free audiobook copy because it is Monday, Mental Health Matters Mondays. So if you go to my website, which is right up here, you can see it there, and just put in an email address. You will be part of my Happy 88 tribe. I promise not to spam email you outside of the automated email. I have a tendency to forget to use my email list, but you will get a free audiobook copy of my #1 Amazon and best-selling book, 8 Ways to Happiness. So I'm known for hope and happiness. I am known for encouraging and inspiring and motivating people. I am a so-called expert on grief. I'm an expert on relationships. I'm an expert. That's funny. I'm an expert on how to be happier. I'm an expert on how to have more joy and less stress at work, right? I'm an expert on executive coaching you to use people on your team so that you are, synergistic and all of that. And guess what, folks? I'm a hypocrite because 100% of the time I don't know what I'm doing in all of those areas. So what? So what? Now what? Not so what, but now what? Well, here we go. On every one of those, I do have a lot of experience. I have degrees, I have awards, and I do practice what I teach 88% of the time. Everyone does something well 88% of the time, whether it's something that you worked at, it's a skill that 10,000 hours, whatever it is, you are good at it 88% of the time. I will almost guarantee that. There are some people, but 88% of the people in the world, of the 8 billion, they do the best that they can with the time they have and the resources they have. And 88% of the time, they are spot on with what they're doing. They're not hypocrites. 12% of the time, you could be labeled a hypocrite. I can be labeled a hypocrite, for God's sakes. Me giving relationship advice during Valentine's season or sad season, Single Awareness Day season, that's funny because I'm not in a healthy relationship. I don't know if I've ever been in a healthy relationship, to be honest. But do I give relationship advice? Yes. Do I feel like a hypocrite? No, because one, the name of my show is Take My Advice. I'm not using it, but more important is that I do know and have practiced aspects of it in every single field that I am known as an expert in. 88% of the time, with the exception of relationships, but everything else is 88% of the time. Okay. And I cut myself some slack because I know that I'm not perfect. So hypocrisy has a lot to do with perfectionism. So that's why I say, you say hypocrisy like it's a bad thing. It's really not a bad thing because it's an admittance that I cannot be perfect. And I'm going to cut myself some slack for the times that I don't feel like I'm the expert. I don't feel like I should be on that panel. I don't feel like I should be on this show telling you what to do. I don't think that I should be, and I'm shooting on myself, and that doesn't help either. But I do know that most of the time, I've helped a lot of people. And I can say that without, feeling like I'm a hypocrite because I don't practice it. I do practice it, just not all the time. And it's the same with you. So the bottom line, the moose on the table for hypocrisy is you say hypocrite like it's a bad thing. No, if you relate it to, yeah, cut people some slack. Nobody's perfect. Yeah, they're going to be a hypocrite 12% of the time. I'm going to be a hypocrite 12% of the time. And it's not that big of a deal. INTBOAD, it's not that big of a deal. We all try to do the best that we can. We do. We do, even if it doesn't look like it. But it really doesn't matter about other people. It matters about you and me. Have I done the best that I can with the time that I have and the resources that I have? Yes. Am I a hypocrite? Yeah, 12% of the time. More than that, yeah, I got stuff to work on. But most people out there, 88%, are just fine. And that's the message. When we come back, it is Parkinson's Foundation Month, or Parkinson's Caretakers Foundation's month. I also have great, if we have time, an interview also with someone who's going to talk about the dangers during the holidays. I didn't even know about lithium batteries. And we'll end it with some really great tips on holiday eating. So don't go away. We'll be right back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind, home to the Asian Oprah, number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. I'll be right back. Don't go away. In 2 and 2.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. And you know what? I'm having back in studio someone who always comes once a year to talk about something really important. This November is Parkinson's Foundation joins organizations across the country to recognize National Family Caregivers Month, an opportunity to raise awareness, educate the public, and support those who care for people with chronic conditions like Parkinson's disease. Here to highlight the work being done, two people who know a lot about caregiving. John Lear, once again, good to have you again in studio. He's the president and CEO of the nonprofit Parkinson's Foundation, and someone new, Ripley Fricano Hensley. Hopefully I got that right. A care partner for her father who's living with Parkinson's. And John, you know that my mom had Parkinson's. She just passed 4 months ago.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but
so
I
sorry.
wanted to let you know because, we've been doing this for like 3 or 4 years now. But I'm so glad that you're here. Please welcome to my studio the Parkinson's Foundation. Hold on one second here. John, why is National Caregivers Month so important, and what message do you hope it sends?
Yeah, so, care partners are truly the backbone of the Parkinson's disease community. And as you know, Parkinson's is a very difficult disease. It affects 1 million Americans. 90,000 individuals are newly diagnosed each year. It's a progressive, degenerative, neurological condition. So over time, things get worse. And Parkinson's requires that others help out, caregivers, whether it's a spouse, family member, friend, neighbor, anyone who helps navigate the daily life of people with Parkinson's. And so Caregivers Month really gives us a chance to say thank you and to shine a light on these unsung heroes, and also to raise important issues about what it means to be a caregiver. or care partner. So this year's theme is Real Care Anywhere, which reminds us that caregiving takes many forms, and some people provide daily hands-on care at home, while others, like Ripley, who you'll hear from in a minute, support loved ones from afar. No matter what caregiving looks like, every role is valuable, and we want to say thanks to caregivers, our care partners, and let them know that they're seen, appreciated, and supported in every step of the way. But during this month, November, we want to really just say, put a spotlight on them, hear from them, and say thank you to them.
Awesome. Ripley, welcome to the studio. I know this is your first time. What's been your experience as a care partner?
Right. Thank you for asking. So my dad was diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2017. And when he was diagnosed, our family went through all the emotions, fear, uncertainty, even grief for what we thought life might look like. And over time, we've learned that Parkinson's is only one part of our story. And living several states away from my family means I've had to redefine what we thought caregiving might look like. So for us, that's been staying closely connected through frequent calls and FaceTimes. Sometimes that's to talk about symptoms. Often it's just to share everyday life. My mom and I use shared calendars, shared notes to coordinate appointments, and I try to anticipate needs before they come up, especially with things I can help with from afar, like grocery deliveries. As a nurse, I can help interpret some medical language. I can help navigate the hospital. But as a daughter, I've learned that often listening and laughter matter just as much, and that caregiving isn't about just being physically present, but about emotional presence, communication, and being part of that support system, because every little bit matters, even the phone calls and planning from afar.
Absolutely. Yes, your dad and my mom for sure. Ripley, what to be aware of?
That's such an important question, and I think caregivers tend to put themselves last, and that's not sustainable. It's important to recognize the signs of burnout, which include fatigue, irritability, or even that just foggy feeling where everything feels harder. Taking regular breaks isn't selfish, it's essential, and you can't pour from an empty cup. And truly caring for yourself is part of caring for your loved one. So lean on your support networks, use resources like those from the Parkinson's Foundation, and for anyone caring from afar, I would say build small, sustainable routines of connection. Try to let go of the guilt and know that caregiving isn't about perfection or proximity, but it's about presence.
Yes, excellent. Well said. The cup analogy, that it's the airplane, right? If you can't put oxygen on yourself first, you're gonna probably lose some energy to be able to take care of anyone else, for sure.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. John, what resources are available for care partners?
Yeah, so at the Parkinson's Foundation, we're really pleased to offer a wide range of free resources for care partners at any stage or every stage of the journey. So we have everything from checklists and planning tools to educational guides that help care partners prepare for doctor visits or manage day-to-day activities. Those can all be found on our website, parkinson.org. That's parkinson.org. But if you ever need to talk to somebody, we have a toll-free helpline, which is 1-800-4PD-INFO. That's 800-4PD-INFO. And we have a terrific team of experts in Parkinson's who can handle questions about the disease, from somebody living with it or somebody caring for somebody with Parkinson's, to provide additional resources or make referrals in your local community. And they can be reached at 1-800-4PD-INFO. So the Parkinson's Foundation is here to help in any way we can and to support care partners in their role of supporting people living with Parkinson's disease.
Fantastic. I actually have the website pulled up since I have cameras in the studio. So I just scrolled through and there's a lot of great information there, all for free, all to help. That's why I love having you on. I'm all about solution. So John, Does the general public actually understand Parkinson's?
Yeah, I think awareness of Parkinson's disease is increasing. I think, you think about two of the most prominent people living with the disease, Michael J. Fox, who is a little unusual because he was diagnosed so early in his life. Parkinson's is primarily a disease of older people in their, I just turned 60, so I hate to say older people, but 60s, 70s, and 80s, that's when it's mostly diagnosed. And a lot of people associate Muhammad Ali with Parkinson's disease, and they go, maybe if you're a boxer, you're going to get it. The truth of the matter is we're still trying to understand the basic biology of the disease, and we're making a lot of progress. There's genetic components, there's aging is the number one risk factor, there's environmental components. No matter what the underlying cause is, if you start to see some of the symptoms of Parkinson's disease, like a resting tremor, a little bit of difficulty moving, we really strongly recommend that you go see a neurologist to get a proper diagnosis. Early diagnosis can get you on medications and get you into an exercise regimen that is really critical. So, awareness, I think, is growing. Our population is aging. There are more people who we see now who are living with Parkinson's, like Alan Alda and Neil Diamond. But we have a lot more work to do, and the Parkinson's Foundation is here to raise awareness in any way we can.
Oh, I didn't know Alan Alda had it. He was on my show actually years and years ago, obviously, but I think before it was diagnosed, because he was, amazing. He was in a musical in LA.
Yeah, there's a Netflix special out there. It's sort of a revisitation of a movie he did back in the 1980s with Carol Burnett, and his Parkinson's is pretty noticeable in that show.
Interesting. Wow. Ripley, your turn. What are some ways the public can help?
I think supporting care partners doesn't always mean doing something big, that it can mean just being there, offering to run errands, listening without judgment, or checking in with a quick call or message. And educating yourself about Parkinson's goes such a long way that while it's primarily a movement disorder, it does go beyond that hallmark tremor and affects the whole person physically, emotionally, cognitively, and many of the most debilitating symptoms aren't visible. So knowing that, and the more you know, the more empathetic you can be. So if you have a friend or a family member who's a care partner, reaching out, asking how you can help, because even a little bit of relief or encouragement really makes a world of difference.
Absolutely. And by the way, John, I am #ageless. So we're not going to call anybody old.
I appreciate that.
And then to your point, Ripley, my mom's Parkinson's actually was non-tremor. She had the rigidity. So, it isn't always visible too. So that's
right. My dad started the same way. It was
oh, really? Yeah. So it's not
harder to
always
diagnose if you're not. It definitely is. I didn't realize that before he was diagnosed.
Right. Well, certainly Michael Fox has been a great, just role model for, it's not going to stop him. It's not going to change who he is at the core of who he is. And I think that's a great message. And certainly the things that you all do with the Parkinson's Foundation is aligned with that. So I appreciate that. And I think did I give you? Well, every year I come and I love solution-oriented foundations and organizations. So I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award again. And not everybody gets that. So
Got it.
John, where can we go for more information?
Yes, please go to our website, parkinson.org. That's parkinsonsingular.org, or go to our helpline, which is 800-4PD-INFO. So 800-4PD-INFO.
Awesome. You heard it here. Thank you so much, John and Ripley, for coming on and giving us really great information. Parkinson's Foundation, it's all about balance, peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. We'll be right back with more on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. And
Take Back Your Life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. And you know, I love to balance out all that bad news out there with some good news and informative news. That is all part of the solution. Today's no exception. We're talking about lithium batteries that are everywhere these days, powering our phones, laptops, toys, and e-bikes. But with the holiday gifting and travel in full swing, fire safety experts are sharing how to prevent battery fires. Here to share how to stay safe, both at home and on the go, is Nicole Sanders from UL Research Institutes with details on the National Take Charge, CHARGE, of Battery Safety Campaign. Please welcome for the first time to my studio, Nicole Sanders. Welcome, Nicole.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So tell me about this Take Charge campaign.
Yes, we developed the Take Charge of Battery Safety campaign to help families understand and prevent lithium-ion battery fires. As you said, Dr. Marissa, these devices are powering even more of our everyday life, from phones and tablets to even e-bikes and e-scooters. And still, over half of Americans don't know that these batteries are powering those devices and that there is some risk of overheating and catching fire if improperly used or damaged. So we came up with this campaign to share some practical safety tips that people can use to be safe at home and on the go.
I'm one of the half that didn't know about this, and those images, for those of you who are actually listening on the AM FM side, you'll have to go to the YouTube channel to see the images on this, because it doesn't look like it's a rare thing either, which is a little concerning to me. So I'm really glad I have you on today. Now, why is this such an important message during the holidays in particular?
Yes, because everyone is in the time where they're putting their list together, right? And usually on the top are the latest and greatest tech gadgets. And we're also moving about, visiting our friends and family. And so that's a time that we want to just raise awareness quite a bit around the fact that most of us are on average carrying about 4 of these devices around at any point. Like you said, your headphones, your iPhone, your smartwatch. And so we just want to make sure that people are being cautious. In 2024 alone, we saw 2 flight incidents every week involving lithium batteries. So that's why at this time we want people to know not to check your gifts and your devices into your checked luggage, but keep them in your carry-on. So that way they're in eyesight and within arm's reach in case of any damage or, unusual behavior. And that way you can get help right away.
Well, I'm glad I don't have anything except my smartphone. Otherwise, I would be a fire hazard. Now that the people that are wearing all of the gadgets never saw it that way. A little concerning. What should people think about when buying gifts or when packing for their holiday trips?
Yes, we don't want to cause alarm. We just want people to have a little bit more caution. That's why we put together this Take Charge checklist, a way to organize our safety tips. And we start when you're purchasing your device. We're making sure you slow down, take a few extra seconds to look at the package. Make sure it's been tested for safety by a nationally recognized testing lab. And once you have the devices that you want, handle them with care. Follow the manufacturer's instructions. Use the charger that came with it. Don't overcharge it, and also don't tuck it under your pillow or under your blanket at night. We want to make sure you're keeping it on a flat surface, away from anything flammable, so that way you can keep an eye out again and see if your device is behaving strangely, if it smells funny, if it's overheating, if it's swelling, you hear hissing, popping. Discontinue using that device and stop charging it, and make sure you move as far away from it as you can.
Wow. How many people fall asleep with their smartphones? This is definitely a warning. I also tell people to plug it in a different room, which so that
And behind a closed door.
yeah, that way you're not tempted to MS, which is meaningless scrolling. No wonder you can't fall asleep. But anyways, okay, that's my soapbox. Now this is a really important question because I'm guilty of not disposing of batteries the correct way. So I'm glad I am to ask you this. How should people dispose of lithium ion batteries, or any batteries actually? Can they just throw them in the trash?
No, please do not. We definitely don't want people tossing these into the trash, because the same risks are apparent and maybe even elevated, because they're going to take it out of your trash, put it on a truck and mash it together. And that will cause damage and puncturing to that battery, which could cause a fire. And it's all kinds of flammable materials there. So instead, visit calltorecycle.org. So call the number 2 recycle.org and type in your zip code. And from there, it'll give you a list of places nearby where you can go and safely dispose of your batteries.
I love my platform because this is really good information. Now, where can viewers learn more if they are just tuning in halfway through or have a memory like mine? I have great memory. My recall sucks. So where can they go for more information?
Yes, for tips, an easy reminder, visit us at batteryfiresafety.org. We'll have all the things you need to be safe this holiday season.
Fantastic. Well, happy holidays to you, Nicole. Happy to have you
so much
here. I'd like to give your organization, Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award. I don't give it to everybody, but when it's really good information like this that is here, it's definitely bipartisan. It's about humankind, putting the kind back into humanity. Yes. Thank you so much. And you get this little award. And there you have it. Have the best holiday ever.
All right. Have a safe holiday.
Thank you. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more Take My Advice. And we're back again. Hope you enjoyed both of those very important interviews. Parkinson's is definitely, I don't know anybody who doesn't know someone with Parkinson's. And so caretaking, there's an extra lesson there, not just whatever. There are more and more people that I know who are taking care of their family members. And it's in some cultures that's just normal. I think for Americans it's a little, you have the tendency to think that you pass that off to a facility that has benefits and consequences doing that. Certainly caring for your own aging parents and or loved ones has benefits and consequences for that. So I wanted to play that also to give everyone, since it is Monday, Mental Health Monday, the encouragement to that put the oxygen mask on yourself first and then on other people. Otherwise, you will definitely be hurting, and you can't really help people when you're, not breathing. All right. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed not only my treatise on hypocrisy and what to do to bring your own mental health and your happiness up a notch, as well as those helpful Parkinson's and lithium battery public service announcement interviews. As always, it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Now go and have the best day ever. I'll see you tomorrow.